My dad wanted us to see the world, and we drove from New York all the way to Tierra del Fuego in the tip of South America. We drove all along the Andes of South America to the very tip. We spent a year in Patagonia. My dad was a bush pilot and he worked for all kinds of people.
You better run, you better run, you better run for your life. Who made the beat and run? But I hope I be the run, you better run for your life. Who made the beat and run? Oh, I be the hear me carefully, listen carefully. It's not a good thing to give another man wife. Hear me carefully. Listen carefully. It's not a good thing to try to keep an one Sunday morning, Mr. Peter got for a walk. He didn't got the way to go, so he went a visit a friend. But the time was shot, you must say, that the old bunny come. The way I look, when he was look, and I did that time. What he did was smart. That big people never say, I'll up your foot, your foot. When I say me old bunny come, I'll up your foot, your foot.
I was asking him if they were investing, if the Smithsonian was investing in Belizean education. And he said that the research that they do is made available to Belizeans. But I was saying if they were making any special effort to disseminate that information, that knowledge that they're collecting from this reef, to get it to the students in Belize. And he said, no, if you're doing all this research in a place and you're finding out that this place has all this amazing complexity and how it works and all the beauty of this system, I think it's very important to educate everybody around here about what's here so that they can profit from it, so that now they can rent it out for its true value. I think it'd be in the world's interest that the people that live next to complex ecosystems be hyper educated, that they be educated on those resources, that they understand it, so that those resources are profitable to them for what they are. And while the diversity is going down, not enough investment is being made into educating Belizeans. When we go out to Tobacco Key, we'll be in our coastal zone. Belize has its mainland, and then it has about 20 miles of shallow coastal seas just off our coast, about a 20-mile band of seas that are between 6 and 40 feet deep. And at the outer fringe of that 20-mile band of shallow seas, there's a coral reef, a barrier reef, which is like a big wall that separates Belize from the deep blue ocean. And there are little islands on that barrier reef. So we're going to be on one of those islands on our barrier reef. And we're going to be talking about the ecology of the area and also the contribution that that area makes to Belize's economy. Fisheries and tourism, those are the two main things. That area is at the mercy of how well we manage our land. If we trash up our rivers, then our rivers discharge all this sediment and nutrients out onto our reef and destroy it. So what we do on land affects what's happening at sea. There are a lot of people that are fishing out there. As our reefs are getting degraded, they're having a little bit of harder time. But also we have tourism industry taking over our coastal zone. You have a lot of people buying up areas, buying up whole keys and converting them into tourism uses. So the fishermen out there are kind of taking a licking there. They're losing a lot of their fishing grounds, are being turned into conservation projects, which is good for conservation, but you know, a little bit turbulent for people who've been fishermen for a few generations.
The fishermen are also cognizant of the problem, and they kill a lot. The tour guides, the dive guides kill a lot. They're the one thing, even in this is a preserve, you're allowed to kill, you're encouraged to kill them. One big hope is to educate chefs and people around the world that they're really good to eat and to turn it into a delicacy. It would be worthwhile for the fishermen to go catch. I personally know one dive guide that's been hit by the spines twice and almost died both times. So there is a risk to these guys going after them. They've knocked out probably estimates of 70% of the young fish. Young fish.
Are they pioneer species where they come from, or are they parts of a climax type of ecosystem? Where are they found?
They're found in the South Pacific. Okay, so
on
they're
reefs
on reefs and stuff, same as here, and they're top predator. But there are things there, diseases and parasites and things like that, to keep them under control. There's none of that here. The danger is they can't figure out how to do it, and no fish will eat them. So far, they found them in the stomachs of some big groupers. What is poisonous on them, what is venomous on them, is the spines. Okay.
So how do fishermen deal with them?
Everybody thinks of them as being like a hypodermic needle that they stick into you and they inject through the hollow needle a toxin. That's not true. What they do is it's a spine. They have a sheath over there that pulls back as soon as it's stuck into something. And these are the poisonous spines right here. And instead of being hollow, they're grooved.
It's got grooves on the outside.
And the grooves contain the toxin. So when they go in, that sheath pulls back and the toxin gets injected. You can feel how sharp that is. Be careful, it's very sharp. We've got a friend that uses these for martini olives.